they have a pretty versatile lineup where they can try to pressure out in the paint, out in the perimeter, and attempt to take you out of what you want to do. So it took us a minute to get settled in, but like he talked about it this morning. When we start games off, put pressure on the defense by moving the ball and cutting. We usually wear teams out over the course of the game. So there's a little back and forth. They made a lot of runs, but we were able to do that over, eventually down the stretch of the fourth quarter and seal the deal.
The Warriors used to go to the playoffs. Now, 5 years in a row. What's it say about the current state of the team?
Obviously doing some great things. I remember those days. Not a lot of guys in that locker room remember or have experienced not being on a playoff team. So I appreciate it a lot. Just you never take for granted the situation we're in. Clinching a playoff spot this early. It used to be. I remember that first time we did it. It was a huge celebration in the locker room. And obviously, it's expected now, but we want to continue to focus on the things we need to, finishing out the season and being our best in the playoffs, and just keep pushing forward. This is just another checkpoint along the way.
Was there any celebration tonight? Anything said?
Like I said, it was not my first 3 years not making the playoffs. I think I was the first one that mentioned it after we broke it down, because I don't think many people realized. But no celebration, though.
Steph, while this wasn't your guys' best effort tonight during timeouts, you guys were joking around, you were having fun with one of the fans and making them win money tonight. Now, you guys being able to keep it lighthearted and not take yourselves too seriously, do you think that's what separates you guys from the rest of the NBA?
I can't speak for the rest of the NBA, but I know we like to have fun and enjoy what we do every night and find energy all sorts of different ways. And yeah, it wasn't our prettiest game by any stretch of the imagination, but we found a way to separate ourselves at the end of the game. And you can't get bored with the process. You can't, no matter who you're playing. And I think we consistently do a pretty good job of that. And we're gonna keep it light, like we do in practice, like we do in the locker room. Sometimes in the games where you gotta have some fun with what you're doing. It's a long season, and you gotta find some joy.
I remember when you had a kind of an encouraging message for him before he had to leave. I was wondering if you said anything similar to Durant after this game.
I just told him I appreciated his attitude and his effort and what he brought to us for the last 20 days, and hopefully he lands in another team pretty soon, because he has a lot to offer this league. His tenacity on the defensive end and his confidence, and there's a reason he was on our organization's radar with how he was playing and coming back from his injury. So he's going to be, I think, around for a long time, and hopefully he sticks with whatever team he goes to next, and continues to push.
Steph, when it out to you and guard you on the perimeter, it seemed like you want to put him on skates. What's going through your mind when you get that mismatch?
You just gotta recognize the space and the where you are on the floor, where a help shot could be, but really you're in control in that situation. And you just try to either make the right decision whether you're gonna pull up or try to get to the basket and get them off balance. That's basically it. You try not to be predictable in that situation. Just go at your pace and make the move you think is right, and try to finish that possession. So sometimes it needs to be a little bit more creative than others, but for the most part I try to keep it simple and just get to my shot and make it happen.
Steph, when you look at this for you guys, when you look at it ahead, is it more of a grind compared to other trips that you've had, just the 5 games and then coming back for one and then going back out on the road for a couple more?
Yeah, it's kind of, we want to obviously get off to a good start because of how daunting that last stretch of the first part of the road trip, and then how many miles we're going to log. But we're playing 5 really competitive teams, and in their home arena, so we got to obviously pack our defense in our suitcase, and hopefully, that shows up every night. Not try to not beat ourselves with turnovers, and if we can control the momentum in each of those games and really control the minutes and hopefully not wear ourselves out too much, we'll be able to withstand the crazy schedule, the travel schedule, and continue to get wins.
Steph, how much different has this year been? You're going for the record this year. You're going to try to get back the title, but I mean, different cast of characters coming in, different sort of a vibe. What's it been like this year compared to last year?
It's different because, like you said, there's less chatter about 73 or whatnot. Our only goal is to lock up #1 seed, continue to get better, reaching the playoffs, to stay healthy, get as much rest as we can. And there is only one focus. It's, like you said, winning a championship, but the process is a little different than it was last year. And there's more emphasis for us on how we're playing and how we're winning games. Like tonight, we can obviously say it wasn't our best effort. We could play better. But it's not about, like you said, chasing a record or a number. It's just about continue to plug away and get better as we go towards the playoffs.
Is pacing your grinding season, and then you get 2 months of playoffs after that?
Yeah, a coach does a great job of controlling that with how many minutes we play. But as players out there on the court, every game you want to have that competitiveness about it. But it's on us, obviously, to take care of our bodies in between games, with recovery and our routines and making sure, we're fresh. So most of us are pretty experienced at understanding the length of the season and how our bodies, are going to respond game to game and what we need to do to maintain that level of intensity down the stretch of the regular season into the playoffs.